Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name's ClaraZeela and I do videos on luxury handbags and fashion items. So today I am going to give you a first impressions and pros and cons on my new Chanel 22 mini bag. I purchased this bag from Haneda in Tokyo about 1 month ago. So I've had a chance to use her for about a month. So I have some ideas about pros and cons and how to make this a better bag. And finally, if you stay with me to the end of this video, I have a new segment where my husband reacts to my new bags, to which he will provide comments on what he thinks about this bag. So make sure you stick around until the end. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's first talk about the pros of this bag. And the first thing that comes to mind is the capacity in this bag, because it basically will hold all the essentials and a little more. So let me share with you what I have inside. So at the top of the bag, I have a pair of sunglasses. And then obviously I have my phone that fits upright. So this is a 14 Pro iPhone. I have my reading glasses. These are my flat reading glasses. And then in the main compartment here, because I do have an organizer inside, I have a pen, I have a nano bag, I have a hand sanitizer in this Muji bottle, I have a pack of tissues, I have my AirPods, and finally I have my Hermes compact Bierne wallet inside. This is a small wallet, but obviously if you're using a card holder, that should fit no problem. Just to give you an idea of the size, it does fit this way or this way, and it's generally quite flat, so it's definitely not a problem for the bag. Another thing I like about the Chanel 22 mini is that there are several ways to carry this bag. So obviously you can carry it like a top handle bag like this, or over the crook of your arm. And then obviously it does have these two long straps that you can carry as a shoulder bag, or you can carry this crossbody if you liked. And finally, you could also carry it like a shoulder bag like this if you extend this at the back here, like this. So for such a small bag, there are just multiple ways of carrying it. And also another pro of this bag is that I find that this bag goes with most outfits, whether you want to dress up or dress down. And finally, I do find that this bag is generally low maintenance. I don't see any corner wear or any scratches on the bag, and it generally looks pretty good condition for now, but mind you, I've only had it for approximately 1 month. Now, of course, I'm always honest with you, so let's talk about the cons of this bag. So one of the cons is that because it's not very structured, it's not going to be able to sit up on its own very well. So whilst I can say place it on this surface and it can kind of sit up on its own, it does have the tendency to kind of flip over. But generally, I would say that because the base is so small and because it doesn't have a lot of weight, generally this can fall over if it's sitting up. And because it can't really sit up on its own too well, basically when it flips over, and because it doesn't have a zipper or a tie or any magnets like the larger version, your things can basically spill out all over the floor and all over the table. So it's something you really need to pay attention to. So how do you get around that? Basically, I have an organizer inside. Let me show you my organizer. Mine is a silk organizer. It does give it some shape and structure so that it is able to sit up a bit more. But the biggest con I like about this organizer is that it does have a zipper. So if you can see here, I can zip it up. And that way, if my bag falls over, or if I'm carrying the bag on my side or as a crossbody, or if I want to flip the bag to the back, I don't really have to worry too much about people's hands kind of going into here without me knowing. Now, the thing is, if you do stuff this bag, it's really hard to cinch. You could kind of try, but generally I would say the bag is quite open. So I do really appreciate having an organizer with a zip on it. Case in point, you can see I've stuffed everything back in, and it's generally kind of hard to close. You can kind of cinch it up a bit, but you know, it's going to be generally quite open. So unless you're carrying your bag like this, very close to your arm where people can't get in, if you are carrying this as a long shoulder bag, you can see it's quite open, so people can pickpocket you. I mean, you could crossbody it and put it close to you, but again, like I said, like someone could just bump into you and go into your bag and grab, I don't know, the nano bag or anything else that's in your bag. So it really does help to have this little zipper pocket lining inside, just so that it's just a little bit more secure, and when the bag does topple over, it's not like things are going to be falling out. So definitely the added security is highly recommended if you are using this bag. Of course, if you live in a pretty safe country and people aren't pickpocketing you, you won't have this problem. But just for me, I'm just always a little careful, just in case someone pickpockets me, or if I'm clumsy and I trip over and my stuff is all over the stairs or on the floor or something like that. Or I could be having my coffee at a coffee shop. I put down my bag and suddenly, poof, things just go flying all over the table, right? So definitely for someone clumsy like me, I definitely need something with a zip. So another con of the bag is that, as you can see, there are a lot of straps. There's one for the hand carry and for the shoulder straps. There are a total of like 4 straps in here, and I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that they kind of tangle into each other. So sometimes you kind of have to undo them, but it's not too bad. They're not difficult to untangle, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you it annoyed me a little bit. It does annoy me a little bit, but it's okay. I'll put up with it. It's a pretty bag. So another con of this bag is that this shoulder strap is really long. I do have a hack for that, and what you can do is you can ask Chanel directly for this little hinge that looks like this. It looks like this shape where you can shorten the strap. So you can either ask Chanel for that, or in my case, I bought it in the aftermarket, but what it does is it helps to cinch in the chains so that the chain strap can be shorter, so that it's hitting me at an appropriate length and not constantly hitting my thighs. But anyways, on a serious note, I'm about 163 centimeters, so crossbody it kind of works, but if it's for a long shoulder carry, I do find it slightly long. So having those adjusters really does help, and sometimes I do carry it over my shoulder using the shorter strap, so that's okay. But definitely if you are using the longer straps and you're shorter than me, it could annoy you. I don't know, maybe some of you don't mind that, you know, it's kind of hitting your thighs all the time, or I don't know, for shorter people, you could be kicking it with your knees. I don't know. But for me, I do find it a bit long. So definitely those chain adjusters are also a game changer for me. So another reason that I was a bit hesitant to buy this bag is that I find that the chains on these straps, they do dig a bit if you carry really heavy items inside. So I try not to fill up my bag too much, but say if you have 2 phones, a battery charger, and other essentials, it does get a little heavy. Given it's a small bag, you can't stuff it too much. However, if you're like putting a water bottle, 2 phones, and more, these chains, because they are made out of metal, they're going to dig. They're going to dig into your arms and your shoulder. Maybe if you're wearing a sweater or jacket, it will help a bit, but it could potentially dig. I mean, I'm actually kind of happy they have this cable, because this is definitely a lot easier on my shoulders. So on occasion, sometimes I have used just this strap to carry over my shoulder or crossbody if I felt the chains were a bit digging into me. I know that aesthetically it probably doesn't look as great, but definitely sometimes I don't mind using this cable. It's black, it matches the bag, and you know, I'm not abusing my body with my beautiful Chanel 22 mini bag. So finally, the last con I can think of, which hasn't been a con for me yet, is that there are some people who own this bag who have issues with the rubbing in this area where the chain feeds through here. Luckily for me, I've been able to order these leather protectors that I basically stick onto the chain, button it up, and I stuff it into this area to protect it from rubbing against the bag. So far I have no rubbing issues on this bag. And so overall, I really do like this bag. It's really easy to use. It matches with most of my outfits and it carries all my essentials, and there are multiple ways to carry this bag. And definitely this is more of a fun bag. I do have a lot of more serious bags in my collection, so it's nice to have some diversity, and I really haven't been using a Chanel bag for a while, so I thought it was just kind of nice to have an easy grab and go Chanel bag that looked a bit more trendy than some of my Hermes bags that look a lot more serious. I don't think this will be a forever bag, who knows, but for now I think it's just really nice to have something like this in my collection to look a bit more fresh and young if I can. What do you think of this bag? So I hope this helps you out if you are considering this bag, and if you're still with me, maybe let's try to get some thoughts from Mr. K, my husband, to see what he thinks of my Chanel 22 mini bag. So Mr. K, what do you think of my Chanel 22 mini bag?
What is 22?
It was the year of its creation.
Is it like a drawstring bag?
Yeah, it's similar to a drawstring bag.
What's with the chains?
The chains are to put over your shoulder or to carry as a hand carry bag.
But they're so heavy. Why do you need such heavy chains?
You actually find it heavy?
Yeah, why?
You're stronger than me.
I
You're
know,
a
but
guy.
why?
The chains are to make it stylish. It's
If you say so.
reminiscent of Chanel.
Maybe it's good for body training? I have no idea. It's such a small bag, right? And there's no zipper again.
Yeah, I have this bag organizer to zip everything up. Remember, I put everything in the organizer.
So did it come with the zipper bag?
No, it didn't. I had to buy this separately from TaoBao.
Okay, so it's another TaoBao bag.
Yeah, this is a TaoBao bag.
So why didn't it include the TaoBao bag inside?
Because it's meant to be carried as an open bag.
So that things will fall out of the bag?
Yeah, potentially. You can kind of cinch it up.
So just like the last bag, right, you need to just extra stuff and be extra careful. I don't think it's very functional.
Why? It fits everything I need.
Yeah, but there's no zipper. Things will fall out, as I said.
But that's why I have the zippered bag on the side.
Well, the leather seems to be great quality. It's soft.
Do you think this bag looks good on me? Does it look really cool?
Yeah, it matches your outfit. So the brand name is quite big relative to the bag. So are you doing an ad for them? Are they sponsoring you?
No, this video is not sponsored. But yeah, but Chanel is like that. I just kind of consider it as a decoration. I don't really even notice it after a while.
But you can hide the brand, turn it around, and it will not show the brand name.
Yeah, I can do
You can
that.
hide it, yeah.
So that's another pro of this bag. So if you don't want to show the logo, just turn it around and it would look like just any other TaoBao bag.
So how much is it?
Cheap by Chanel standards.
Okay, so it's not that cheap. So what if you sold it? Would you get, I don't know, half of it back?
Actually, in the current market, this is a very hot bag. So likely I would be able to get back the same or maybe even more for this bag, especially after the recent price increase.
So what are we waiting for?
I want to use this bag.
Okay.
So Mr. K, 1 out of 10, how much would you rate this bag?
So you need to define what a 1 is and what is a 10.
So 10 is a great bag for a luxury bag, and 1 is an awful bag. 5 is average, and I guess 7 is good. So how would you rate this bag?
7.
So why did you only give it 7 points?
I don't know, if I said it's 5, you would be angry, right? If I said it's 10, I'll be lying, so 7 seems to be a good compromise.
So are you gonna rate all my bags a 7?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're never asking him for ratings on my bags. Do you have any other comments about this bag?
Nope. Sell it.
What? Okay, thank you, Mr. K.
Can we have dinner now?
Okay, let me just finish filming first.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on the Chanel Mini 22 bag? Do you like it? Do you own it? Or do you have any other pros and cons that I didn't mention in this video? Please feel free to leave your comments down below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I will put my account handle somewhere down here. Thank you so much again for joining me on another bag review. I hope you have a fabulous day and we'll see you next time. Bye bye now.